That was the excellent song, Knuckles, by Punch Drunk Cabaret. That's off their 2012 self-titled album. And friends, I'm joined today on the phone by the lead singer, the madman behind the mic of the Punch Drunk Cabaret. That is Randy. Randy's on the phone with me. Randy B, making a lot of noise for the last 6 years. You guys have been blowing it up there in Alberta, Canada. Hey, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, Sheepdog. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm excited to chat about what's going on in your part of the world.
Hey, we're excited to have you on. You guys have released 3 exciting CDs, and I'm telling you, they blow up loud, and I've been enjoying playing them. I actually played something new off that new CD that you just put out. It was Alamend. I played that just 2 weeks ago, and I warned people you'd be on my phone telling us all about the band. So I just said you've been around 6 years. Why don't you give us a little bit of background, Randy, on the band and how you guys got together, maybe a little bit about that.
You bet. Well, you know what? We're kind of all veteran musicians that have been at it for a long, long time, and the three of us, we live in a ghost town up in northern and western Canada called Dust Bowl, Alberta, where there's absolutely nothing to do but play music or drink. And you can only do so much of either. Sorry?
Yeah, hey, I like the drinking and I like the music. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so, we just, we kind of started just jamming and playing some songs. We weren't even thinking about putting it together as a band, and but these songs started to form, and it was kind of an interesting mixture of rockabilly music and roots music and some swing music. And then we thought, well, let's play live, and when we did, there was an energy to the live show, and it really connected with people, and there was no turning back from there on in. We just went hard, and yeah, like you said, it's been 6 years and 3 albums already.
Right, 6 years, 3 albums. A new album is available on CD Baby for all of you out there listening. So make sure to check that out. Are the other 2 albums also available on CD Baby?
Absolutely, you bet.
So Punch Drunk Cabaret, all available over on CD Baby. Now, let's get into the music itself. As you said, it was rockabilly, roots, some swing, all put together. What made that happen into that format? Maybe not the most popular format of music for, younger kids growing up today, as a lot of them listen to what I call pop trash and a lot of the hip-hop and rap. What made you guys say, we're going to do this roots-type music?
Well, it was a simple case. As a songwriter, for me, this was the earliest music that I ever heard. So this is what my parents were listening to when I was, 2, 3, 4 years old. And so it was really going back to the earliest sounds that I heard as a kid, and it was just really kind of this little experiment for me as a songwriter to tap into those earliest sounds. And strangely enough, it came fairly easily and quickly for me, and I think it has a lot to be said for that early introduction to sound. Those early songs, you don't even realize that they're making an impact on you when you're that young, but it did. And so that was the starting point. And for all of us, like I say, this is the music that was heard in our households when we were just little kids, just sort of dreaming about what it might be like to play a guitar or something like that. So, but that being said, we're all we grew up in the late 70s and 80s, and so we kind of have that arena rock approach to rockabilly and to roots music and to swing, which really brings a different dynamic to it. And so people are often hearing music that they either haven't heard before or haven't heard for a long time. And then, we play quite aggressively, and it's an interesting combination that really kind of, captures the imagination of music lovers.
Yeah, and I see, talk a lot on your website about your live performances and how high energy they are, and you guys even take and do some cover songs like Hot for Teacher and Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics there, and take them totally in a different way, but people are enjoying it, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how great your original music is. I think the human brain needs to hear something familiar every now and again. So we love to take cover songs and unlikely cover songs and then just rearrange them in a completely, left-wing kind of way. And it's great because we don't feel like a jukebox doing it because the audience is hearing it in a way they've never heard it before, but yet they're getting what they need because they're getting something familiar.
Well, and I do enjoy that. Actually, every year on our show, we do a Smothered in Covers show, which isn't the mainstream, I'm going to cover a 1950s song. It's like I'm going to cover something odd or weird. And so if you ever get one of those tracks laid down for us to play on that show, be happy to spend that on our Smothered in Covers show. But what we're talking about today is the Electric Steam Show, brand new CD, right? How long did this take you guys to put together?
It took us about, I don't know, probably 6 months.
6 months?
From the one thing that we do, and you mentioned this, is that, we completely see ourselves as a live band first. Everything that we do comes from the fact that we're a live band, and that the majority of people are going to experience this band at a live show before anything else. I mean, now there are great occasions where pioneers like you are playing us on the radio, but for the most part, we're out there slogging it as a live band. And so what we do is we road test everything. We take any new material, we take it out, we road test it. If it's not catching on with an audience after 3 shows, that's the end of it. And so every album is sort of like a best of as far as the audience is concerned, and it really is a great. It provides great direction. It's a great compass to take into the studio because you already know that there's interest in those tunes.
That is great. And what I tell people is, you know what? You can go buy the CD at CD Baby all you want, but it really does help out the artist. Go out to a show. If you're enjoying it, buy the T-shirt, the merchandise, because really that's how these guys have to get by sometimes, The album is nice, but get out there to a live show, rock out with them, and have some fun. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And we really try, and I mean, most bands are like this, is that we're trying to create a sense of community at a show. It really isn't like, let's just stand there and watch the band. Many bands, we're one of many bands that, we find every possible way to work the audience into our show. And one of the best ways of doing that is if people come to the shows and they're familiar with some of the songs already.
Great, and then they can sing along and have fun with you guys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a track off the new CD. It's called Hightest Hellraisin. It's a lot of fun. Turn it up, and we'll be right back with more with Randy here, talking about the new CD and so much more. We're going to find out how you can join them all over the internet and get down with them and talk a little bit more about the concerts and the other guys in the band. Here's Hightest Hellraisin on Hot Rod Tonight.
Half-mast flames, here we go again. Count 'em off, 1, 2, 3. I'm about to break it up my thumb, something wicked this way comes. You know it's looking for me. It's a sideshow guarantee of losing life, living liberty. High test, high test, high test. No better way to spend my last dime. Backwater booze, splashes on your shoes, going blind till I started to see. Word to
that was rockin' Hightest Hellraisin, brand new CD by Punch Drunk Cabaret from the Electric Steam Show, now available on CD, baby. And available to me right now is Randy B, the lead singer, the guy who also bends those strings for the band. There's a couple other cats in the band, Sean E. Watts and Terry Sawbones Grant, that also tear it up with him. Why don't you give us a little bit of background there on Sean and Terry?
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of the most interesting rhythm sections that you'll find. The old Captain Shawnee Watts plays stand-up style. So, you know, sort of in the tradition of Slim Jim Phantom. He's got an interesting custom kit that he's just come out with on this new album. So he's got like, you know, a double bass drum. So so he looks like, you know, a cross between the Stray Cats and Motorhead or something like that. So so very interesting to watch him perform. Terry Sawbones Grant is one of the few 12-string bass players in Canada. I don't know, maybe even in North America. It's you don't hear about a lot of 12-string bass players, but that is his specialty. And I'll tell you, those two guys put together can make a hell of a racket for a three-piece band.
Well, I'm telling you, you guys definitely have some great noise and rock and roll happening here on the new CD. And I discussed with you why the song was playing there, a little bit about rockabilly music, the background, and so forth. And I bring it up to a lot of people. I'm like, it seems like the rockabilly, even the psychobilly music nowadays, or swing music, all is a little bit more popular over in Europe, and then you get over in North America. You know, I mean, a lot of times you can think of it as being founded down in Memphis or Texas, right around those parts, or just North America in general. And a lot of people have lost grasp on that. And why do you think that is? That a lot of people just don't realize this is where rock and roll music began.
Yeah, I mean, why that's happened, it's hard to say, other than, just too much of the public follows trends. Too much of the public is, they're waiting for, whatever powers to tell them, this is what you should be listening to, or this is what's popular, rather than checking it out for themselves. And, when we started playing this music, we saw it as a way of kind of preserving the roots of rock and roll. Anybody who loves rock music respects where it came from, and we've sort of been shocked over the years that we continue to meet people who will ask us, well, what's rockabilly music? What is that? And we have to explain. Well, here's the roots, and here's what it was, and they don't realize that it was a time where there was this great cross pollination of various kinds of music that were coming together at one time, and it seems like, over the years, music has kind of got so sort of genre-fied that everything, they like to just put things into neat little packages. But, for musicians like us, that's where the action is when you start, like I say, cross-pollinating, when you start mixing, swing music with country music, or, country music with rock or metal or whatever. It's those sorts of intersections where it gets really interesting.
Right, and the fact that you can take three people and make it just so wonderful, so good. In a way, I think it was Carl Perkins once said, like, rockabilly was maybe the first form of punk rock and roll, because of, the way it was three guys in there, and there wasn't much recording equipment as there is now with the engineering and stuff. They get in there, and it was pretty raw from what they recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more, and we definitely see, sort of the influences that we have with punk. We don't really use that in the description of our music, because it gets so quickly misinterpreted as, oh, well, they're a punk band. But there is that rebellious, I guess you could call it punk, but maybe the true term is it's just, rockabilly music has that rebellious attitude about it, and I think that's just prevalent, throughout, and doesn't matter whether it's rockabilly, psychobilly, whatever it is. It's just that rebellious kind of spirit.
Well, I believe now punk's even mislabeled. What I think they mean by that is underground, real roots. Underground, the thing that just isn't popular anymore for some reason, everybody now refers to as punk. I don't know why.
Yeah, true enough.
When I think punk, I really just think of the Sex Pistols in the 1970s.
Right, yeah, true enough, yeah.
Well, so this has been an amazing chat with you, and you guys are playing a lot in Alberta right now, right? But you also have ways to hook up with your friends over in Europe, your friends right here in the America or anywhere around the world. You guys have some Facebook pages. You guys have a wonderful website. Why don't you tell us how everybody can contact you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, like I say, like any band, you start off really locally, and you kind of, you play the centers that you can drive to in a weekend, and over the years, it's really, it really continues to grow, and we're noticing with the release of this third album, things are really starting to open up for us internationally, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, the world is not as big as it used to be now, with social media and internet and everything. So yeah, you can find us just at punchdrunkcabaret.com. You can find us on Facebook, which is our Punch Drunk Cabaret page. And you know what? We're pretty sociable, friendly kind of guys, and we actually answer anybody who gets in contact with us.
Yeah, they'll put up with you. I mean, they put up with me, right? They put up with the sheepdog, so they'll put up with you guys. And you guys know I'll keep the music howling and prowling. Like I said, 3 great CDs. They're all over at CD Baby right now. You can get the newest release. What's the name of that album again?
The Electric Steam Show.
Electric Steam Show. That's right there. And you can download that in digital form. Do you guys have any ideas of doing a vinyl release or anything for that?
There is talk about that. So we'll see. I'm not convinced that the vinyl consumers are there yet, but I'm hearing more and more people asking for vinyl. So yeah, it could happen.
So there you go. Here's what we do, guys. If you want a vinyl release of this great new album, Electric Steam Show, from Punch Drunk Cabaret, what you got to do is you got to go to their website, okay? Or you got to go to their Facebook page. Say, hey, I love the CD, but I'd love to play it on my phonograph player. That's a turntable, people. You got to tell them, because if they don't know, they're not going to print 500 copies for nothing, okay? So let them know if you do want a vinyl, if there's interest in that, they're going to get it down. If you're around the Alberta, Canada area, I want you to go out. I want you to rock out with them. Buy yourself a t-shirt. Say, hell yes, I just went out and seen Punch Drunk Cabaret. What'd you do this weekend? They'll probably say nothing. Okay, so you'll be the cool guy at the office, isn't that right?
Absolutely. Yes, be the cool guy at the office.
Be the cool guy. Go see Punch Drunk Cabaret. And I'm going to spin a track off their album right now as we wind this up. It is off the album Juke Joint Revival. It's called Smokestack Cadillac. It's here on Hot Roddin' tonight. And, hey, Randy B., can I get you to do one thing for me?
Absolutely.
Give me a howl. Give me a sheepdog howl. Just go owl for me, okay? And that's rock and roll, people. Here is Punch Drunk Cabaret, Smokestack Cadillac on Hot Roddin' tonight.